Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you one honest question. Think carefully before you answer. Why do you understand English, but your voice disappears the moment you try to speak? Why does fear control your mouth, even when the words are already inside your mind? You listen to English every day. You watch movies, videos, and tutorials. You even read English books and articles. You understand almost everything. But when it is your turn to speak, suddenly, your mind goes blank. Your throat feels tight. Your heart starts racing. And all your confidence disappears. You stay silent. Later, when you are alone, you think, I knew the answer. I could have said that. Why didn't I speak? If this feels familiar, I want you to know something very important. You are not alone, and this is not your fault. The truth is, understanding English and speaking English are two very different things. Understanding comes from listening and reading. Speaking comes from courage, confidence, and practice. The main reason most learners freeze is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. Fear of sounding wrong. Most people believe they must be perfect before speaking. They focus on grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. But perfection is not the key. The key is action. Fluency does not come from knowledge alone. It comes from speaking despite fear. It comes from taking small steps and building confidence slowly, day by day. In this video, I will not overwhelm you with complicated rules or long words. I will not ask you to speak perfectly from day one. Instead, I will show you a simple, practical, step-by-step method to speak English fearlessly. You will learn how to train your mind, start speaking with small sentences, and gradually turn nervousness into confidence. Your English is already inside you. All you need is the courage to let it out. So stay with me till the end of this video. Because today, you will learn how to speak English without fear. How to finally open your mouth and let your voice be heard. And how to take the first real step toward confident, fearless speaking. Let's begin this journey together. Chapter 1: Why Fear Controls Your English. The real problem nobody explains. Have you ever sat in front of someone, ready to speak English, and suddenly, your voice disappears? Your heart races. Your hands shake. Your mind goes completely blank. You know exactly what you want to say, but your mouth refuses to move. If this has ever happened to you, I want you to know one very important truth. Fear is not a weakness. It is not a sign that you are not smart or not capable. It is normal. In fact, it is something every beginner experiences. The first myth most learners believe is that fear means they are bad at English or unintelligent. That is completely wrong. Fear is not about your ability. It is about your brain trying to protect you. Yes, protect you. Your brain has one main job: keep you safe. And for many English learners, speaking feels dangerous. Why? Because your brain has learned that making mistakes or being judged is painful. Think back to school for a moment. How many times were you corrected in front of the class? How many times did a teacher raise an eyebrow at your answer or classmates laugh when you said something wrong? Maybe someone made fun of your accent or you mispronounced a word. Even small moments like these leave a mark. Your brain stores them as a rule. If I speak and make a mistake, I might be embarrassed or judged. Over time, this learned fear becomes automatic. Every time you try to speak English, Your brain warns you, stop. Don't make a mistake. And this is why many learners freeze mid-sentence. It is not about English. It is about judgment. The fear of being judged hijacks your mouth, your thoughts, and your confidence. This is also why translating in your head makes everything worse. When you try to think in your native language first, your brain adds more pressure. Suddenly, you are not only afraid of speaking, you are afraid of saying the exact right thing in the exact right way. You start counting words, worrying about grammar, and rehearsing perfect sentences. And in that moment, your courage disappears. Let me tell you a story. I once met a student named Ali. Ali understood English very well. He read books, watched movies, and could answer questions correctly in his mind. But the moment I asked him to say a simple sentence out loud, his hands trembled. His face turned red. He whispered, "I can't. I feel like everyone will laugh at me." That is exactly how fear works. It stops your voice before it even starts. Fear does not mean you are bad at English. It means your brain is protecting you from a possible negative reaction. Fear is learned, and the good news is, it is reversible. Every single person who now speaks English confidently once felt exactly like you do. They were afraid. Their hands shook. Their minds went blank. The difference is not talent or intelligence. The difference is that they learned how to work with fear, instead of letting fear control them. Another reason fear grows is the constant pressure to speak perfectly. Many learners focus so much on grammar, pronunciation, and perfect sentences that they forget the most important thing. Speaking is about communicating, not about being flawless. Perfection kills confidence. When your brain says, "I have to speak perfectly," it remembers every possible mistake. And the moment a mistake seems possible, your voice shuts down. Think about your own experience. Maybe you have said a sentence correctly in your mind 100 times. But when you tried to say it aloud, something inside you stopped. That is not laziness. That is fear. That is your brain protecting you from embarrassment. And it is also why fear is not removed by grammar. No amount of vocabulary or rule memorization will stop your heart from racing if your brain is focused on judgment. Fear also creates self-doubt and overthinking. You start analyzing every word before you speak. You second-guess yourself. You pause, hesitate, and then remain silent. This is why so many beginners feel like they know English in their head but cannot speak it. It is not lack of knowledge, it is fear controlling your body and mind. Here is a comforting truth: fear is normal, and it can be changed. Your past mistakes, laughing faces, school pressure, and correction trauma created this fear, but it does not have to stay forever. By understanding why your brain reacts this way, by learning how to separate English from judgment, and by practicing small, intentional steps, you can regain your voice. In the next chapters, you will learn exactly how to do this. You will see how to train your brain to speak without freezing, how to stop overthinking, and how to turn nervousness into confidence. You will learn that fear is not a wall, it is a signal that tells you where to start. Remember this powerful idea: fear is not removed by grammar, by vocabulary, or by perfect pronunciation. Fear is removed by changing how you think and react while speaking. Once you understand this, you will see speaking English in a completely new way. So, if your hands shake, your heart races, or your mind goes blank when speaking, Know this, you are not alone. You are not weak. You are not unintelligent. You are human. And the voice inside you, your true English voice, can be unlocked. Chapter 2: How Fearless English Actually Starts. Simple Mental Shifts. If Chapter 1 helped you understand why fear controls your English, now it's time to move forward. Now it's time to see how fearless English actually begins. And here is the truth. Fearless English does not start with perfect fluency, a native-like accent, or even a huge vocabulary. That is a myth that keeps beginners stuck for years. Real fearless English begins with one thing: permission to speak badly. Yes, you heard that right. You must give yourself permission to speak poorly, to make mistakes, to stumble over words, and even to sound awkward. Because here's the secret all confident speakers know: no one is born fearless. Powerful speakers are not fearless first, they become fearless by speaking. Every hesitation, every mistake, every moment of "I hope this is right" is part of the process. Fear disappears only when you take action, not when you wait for it to vanish. Let's talk about some simple mental rules you can start using today. Rule 1: Speak slow. When your brain feels nervous, it pushes you to rush. Speaking fast makes mistakes worse and fear louder. Slow down. Take your time. Let your words come out naturally. You do not need to finish a sentence in one breath. Slow speech gives your brain a chance to relax. Rule 2: Speak short. Start with small sentences. Forget long, complicated grammar. Forget trying to impress anyone. Short sentences reduce pressure. They reduce fear. And they give your brain repeated wins, which is exactly what you need to build confidence. Rule 3: Speak now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel 100% confident. Action creates confidence. Silence only feeds fear. The more you stay quiet, the louder fear becomes. The more you speak, even badly, the smaller fear feels. Here is something important: you are not broken. Many learners think there is something wrong with them because they freeze, translate in their head, or feel too nervous to speak. That is a lie your brain has trained you to believe. You are not broken, you are just trained the wrong way. And the good news? You can retrain yourself. One of the biggest mental shifts is this: detach your self-worth from your English mistakes. Making a mistake does not make you less intelligent. Mispronouncing a word does not make you less capable. Speaking imperfect English does not make you weak. Your value as a person has nothing to do with the words coming out of your mouth. Once you truly understand this, fear loses its power. Let me give you a story. I once coached a student named Sarah. Sarah understood English well but was terrified of speaking. Every time she tried, her hands shook, and her mind went blank. I told her, "You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to speak." On the first day, she could only say tiny sentences like, "I like coffee" or "Today is hot." And she was scared. But after a week of practicing short sentences and speaking slowly, she realized something incredible: she could actually speak English without dying of fear. Her mistakes didn't matter. Her voice mattered. That small shift, permission to speak badly, unlocked her confidence. Another key point: silence increases fear, action kills it. When you wait for the perfect sentence, perfect accent, or perfect grammar, your brain interprets it as danger. Every second of silence tells your brain, something bad might happen if I speak. But when you speak, even poorly, your brain gets new information. Nothing terrible happened. I survived. I can do this. Action rewires fear into courage. You might be thinking, but what if people laugh? What if I sound stupid? Here's the truth. Most people are not judging you. Even if someone laughs, it is not a reflection of your value. It is their reaction, not your worth. Detaching your self-worth from your English mistakes is one of the most powerful mental shifts you can make. Now, imagine this. What if every time fear appeared, instead of freezing, you smiled, spoke one short sentence, and moved forward? What if every small step built courage like stacking bricks? That is how fearless English grows, not in a single day, but day by day. So here is your challenge. Start today. Give yourself permission to speak badly. Speak slowly. Speak in short sentences. Speak right now, even if it feels awkward. Each sentence is a small victory. Each small victory is a brick in the foundation of fearless English. Remember, confidence does not come first. Action creates confidence. The more you speak, the more courage grows. The more courage grows, the more fear disappears. By practicing these simple mental shifts, you will begin to feel hope. The first real hope you have felt in months, maybe years. You are not broken. You are not too slow. You are not hopeless. Fear is normal, and fear is reversible. With the right mindset, with small, intentional steps, your English voice can finally be free. In the next chapter, we will go deeper. We will show you exactly how to turn these mental shifts into daily speaking habits, so you never have to let fear control your English again. Chapter 3: Daily Habits That Build Fearless English Automatically. Now that you understand why fear controls your English and how fearless English actually starts, it's time to move from mindset to action. Mindset alone won't give you fluency, but daily habits can. The good news is, these habits are simple, realistic, and designed for absolute beginners. You don't need a classroom, a teacher, or even someone to speak with. The power of fearless English starts with you, yourself, and small daily actions. The first habit is talking to yourself in English. This might feel a little strange at first, and that's okay. Start by describing what you are doing. For example, if you are making tea, say out loud, I am boiling water. I add tea leaves. I stir carefully. Speak slowly, focus on simple sentences, and don't worry about mistakes. This is not about perfection, it is about training your brain and your mouth to work together. The more you practice, the more automatic speaking becomes. Another powerful habit is repeating simple sentences you already know. Choose 5 to 10 sentences you can use in daily life, like I like coffee, it is sunny today, or I am learning English. Repeat them in the morning, in the evening, or whenever you have a free minute. This repetition strengthens your confidence and helps your brain recognize, I can say this. I have done this before. It is safe to speak. Remember, consistency beats confidence. You don't need to feel confident before you practice. Confidence comes from consistent action. Next, try shadow speaking. This is a method where you listen to a short English sentence and immediately repeat it aloud, copying the rhythm and tone. You can use a video, a podcast, or even a simple sentence from a book. Shadow speaking trains your brain and mouth to work together, improves clarity, and makes speaking feel natural. It also slowly removes the fear of pronunciation. You don't need a perfect accent. Focus on being clear enough to be understood. Clarity beats perfection every time. Another essential habit is speaking even when you are alone. Many beginners think practicing alone is silly or useless, but this is where fearless English is built. Speaking alone removes judgment from the equation. You can experiment, make mistakes, and learn without fear. Imagine it as private training. What you do in private will naturally appear in public later. This is how real confidence grows. The brain learns that speaking English is safe, and fear slowly disappears without forcing it. You can also describe your daily actions out loud. Walking to the store? Say, I am walking to the store. I see many cars. The weather is nice. Washing dishes? Describe every motion. It sounds simple, but this trains your mouth to speak English naturally, improves fluency, and builds courage to speak in real conversations. Here's the magic of daily habits. They work silently in the background. Fear doesn't disappear instantly, but it weakens over time. Your brain begins to rewire itself. Every time you speak, repeat a sentence, or shadow a phrase, your brain gets a new signal. Speaking English is safe. I survived. I can do this again. Small actions stacked consistently are far more powerful than one big speech or a sudden attempt to speak perfectly. Remember, you are not broken. You are not slow. You are not silly for practicing alone or speaking out loud in private. You are training your brain and your mouth. You are building a foundation for fearless English. Every sentence you speak, every action you describe, every shadow sentence you repeat is like lifting a small weight at the gym. Slowly, your confidence grows. Slowly, your fear shrinks. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Beginners often stop themselves because they want every word to be right. But real communication does not require perfection. It requires being understood. If someone understands you, you succeed. If your goal is clarity, not flawless pronunciation, your fear will decrease naturally. Here's a small encouragement moment. Imagine a month from now. Every day, you've practiced small sentences, shadowed phrases, and spoken out loud alone. Your brain now sees English as safe. Your mouth moves naturally. Fear is smaller. Confidence is growing. You realize, I can do this. I am actually speaking English. That moment feels incredible because it is real, earned, and permanent. So here's what you can start doing today. Talk to yourself in English about what you are doing. Repeat 5 to 10 simple sentences every day. Practice shadow speaking with short audio or video clips. Speak out loud when you are alone, even for a few minutes. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Remember, small consistent actions beat waiting for confidence. Do this daily, without pressure, without judgment, and without worrying about mistakes. Your voice will grow stronger. Fear will shrink. And slowly, automatically, you will begin to feel what fearless English really feels like. Fearless English is built quietly, privately, consistently, before it ever appears in public. And once it does appear, it feels natural, effortless, and powerful. You are training your brain, your mouth, and your courage, all at the same time. Remember this, you can do this. You are not broken. Every small habit you practice today is building a fearless English voice for tomorrow. Chapter 4. Speaking English in Real Life Without Panic. Now we move to the moment most learners fear the most: speaking English in real life. This is where everything you've learned so far comes together. The mindset, the small habits, the permission to speak badly, they all prepare you for real conversations. And this is where your English truly grows. But here's the truth: speaking English in real situations does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be fast. It does not need to be flawless. What matters most is calmness, clarity, and the courage to keep going, no matter what happens. Imagine this: you are at a cafe. You want to order a coffee in English. Your heart is beating fast. Your hands are slightly trembling. You start thinking, what if I say it wrong? What if the cashier doesn't understand me? This is normal. Every beginner feels this. The fear is real. But here's the key: fear does not have to control your voice. You can speak calmly even when your heart races. The first rule for real-life English is: use simple sentences. You don't need long, complicated phrases. You don't need perfect grammar. Start small. In the cafe, you can say, "I want a coffee, please." That's enough. Simple sentences are powerful because they are easy to remember and easy to say. When you focus on short, clear sentences, your brain feels safe, your mouth moves naturally, and fear begins to shrink. Mistakes will happen. You will mispronounce words, forget phrases, or pause mid-sentence. And that's okay. Every fluent speaker has made thousands of mistakes. The secret is this: keep going despite mistakes. Pause, correct yourself if you want, and continue. Don't stop your conversation because of a single error. Each continuation teaches your brain that mistakes are safe. Each continued sentence builds your confidence. Another powerful tool is breathing and controlling your speed. When learners panic, they often speak too fast or their words get jumbled. Take a slow, deep breath before you speak. Pause after sentences. Speak slowly and clearly. Calmness gives you power. Speed gives illusion of fluency, but calmness creates real, lasting confidence. Imagine someone speaking slowly, clearly, and confidently. They command attention even if their English isn't perfect. That can be you. Let's take a moment to imagine yourself. Picture yourself standing in a room, speaking English to someone for the first time. Your hands are relaxed. Your voice is steady. You make small mistakes, but you keep going. The other person smiles, understands you, and responds naturally. Your chest feels lighter. Your heart is calmer. And a thought passes through your mind: I can do this. I am speaking English. That moment is not a dream. It is the future you are building right now, step by step, habit by habit, sentence by sentence. One of the most important mindset shifts is how you view yourself. Repeat this to yourself: I am a learner, not a failure. Every hesitation, every pause, every imperfect sentence does not define your value. You are practicing. You are growing. You are learning. You are not failing. You are doing exactly what all successful English speakers once did. Your identity changes when you repeat this enough. From I am afraid to speak to I am a learner. I speak. I improve. I grow. Real conversations are also where all your private practice pays off. Talking to yourself, shadow speaking, repeating sentences, they all prepare you for this moment. Your brain has learned that speaking English is safe. Your mouth has practiced forming words. Your courage has been strengthened in private. Now it naturally appears in public. Fear may still be present, but it is smaller, weaker, and manageable. You are no longer a prisoner of fear, you are its master. Remember, real-life English is not about perfection. It's about calmness, persistence, and courage. It's about continuing despite fear. It's about speaking slowly, using simple sentences, and letting mistakes happen without judgment. The more you do it, the more confident you become. Every conversation becomes proof that you can survive, that you can succeed, and that your voice matters. Now, let's imagine the emotional rise. You finish a conversation in English, something simple like ordering coffee, asking for directions, or chatting with a colleague. You feel proud. You feel capable. You feel brave. Your brain records this moment. Speaking English is safe. I can do it. I am capable. Each real conversation strengthens this signal. Each small victory compounds into lasting courage. So here is your call to action for real life. Speak short, simple sentences. Don't aim for perfection. Pause and breathe to stay calm. Calmness is power. Keep going after mistakes. Don't stop your voice. Repeat to yourself, I am a learner, not a failure. Identity matters. Remember that private practice has prepared you. Your courage exists inside you. If you follow these steps, day by day, conversation by conversation, something incredible happens. Fear slowly fades. Confidence grows naturally. Your English voice emerges not by magic, but by your consistent, calm, courageous actions. And one day, you will look back and realize something amazing. The first time you spoke English without panic is the moment your English life changed forever. Your voice, your words, your thoughts, all of it matters. You are no longer afraid. You are ready. You are brave. You are speaking English fearlessly. If this video helped you feel less afraid of speaking English, if it showed you that fearless English is possible, even for beginners, subscribe to this channel, because here we learn English in a simple, real, and powerful way. Like this video if you believe fear should never stop your voice. Every small step you take builds confidence. Every sentence you speak, no matter how short or simple, is a victory. Remember, mistakes do not define you, action does. And comment below, write one simple English sentence you will start speaking from today. Share it, practice it, and make your first fearless step visible. Your journey to confident English begins now.